Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
So we're gonna do another Gina Carano video with Geeky Sparkles. It's been a couple hours since I did the other one. This one though, we're starting to see the reactions online and mostly from Reddit and Bluesky. Man, people are just losing their collective poop.
It's funny that they're losing the collective poop because it always got me like she didn't do anything. Like she did nothing wrong to be fired in the first place. And then if it's about being political, Pedro Pascal and company have been far more political and nothing was done to them. So I'm not understanding what she's supposed to do. And they'll be like, what did she do? And they can't ever tell you anything.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We'll recap for those of you who didn't watch previous video or are just hearing about it now because it is breaking
I didn't
news.
watch the previous video because I was at Freakier Friday.
Yeah,
so.
which you're gonna do a review of hopefully. If people are
maybe
interested.
tomorrow. I don't.
Let us know if you're interested in a review of Freakier Friday. I can't wait for Freakiest Friday, where Lindsay Lohan's a grandma.
It's like something. When we do Beetlejuice. You know.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So here is the TLDR. Actually, I've got. I think this article has a TL. Yeah, there we go. Gina Carano sued Disney and Lucasfilm in 2024 for wrongful termination after being fired from The Mandalorian. A judge allowed the case to proceed, but both parties settled before the trial. Lucasfilm issued a surprisingly warm statement praising Carano and expressing interest in working with her again.
I'm sure they were told they had to.
They were told they had to. Yeah. So here's what happened. They were supposed to go to court. I thought it was this September.
There was a couple times that Disney tried to stall it out. The first time they put a statement out and they basically doubled down on her being abhorrent and all this bullshit that wasn't true. And then they kept trying to stall it out. They refused to turn over documentation until they were compelled to do so. And I mean, there has been several times Disney has gone out of their way to try to get out of this. The fact that they settled and that after they were shot down, I do have to wonder, what were they so afraid of coming out? Because they suddenly settled before it could go to trial when it was heading to trial and they couldn't stop it. And now all of a sudden they settled. Because they just wanted to settle. They could have done that before. But they tried so hard to get out of it, you know, and not settle, just to get out of it, that I am like, why?
Well, I think
going to come out.
Elon said that he was going to push it all the way through to Discovery. And a lot of people are not happy about that. They're like, they wanted to see all the dirt. And again, I understand that. I get that. When you're on the sidelines, when you're not actually involved in a legal matter, it is relatively easy to be like, yeah, I want to watch this. I want to eat popcorn and watch the blood splatter. This is going to be great. As people who have been in multiple legal kerfuffles,
Yes.
I can tell you, and one of those actually by proxy kind of sort of did involve Disney. I can tell you it's a very draining process, both mentally, emotionally, phically, and definitely financially.
Right. And I mean, now I don't think she was footing the bill for this one, but yes, the other ones. And we're all watching it wanting the dirt on Disney. I still think it's crap that Disney's getting away with not having to, you know, put out the information. That being said, I also don't blame her for settling because it is exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's always like, it gets drug out. It gets drug out. It gets drug out. And in her case, she's like, I've already been through drugs of the mud. I just want it to be over, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And she's probably just like wanting it to be over so she could just get, you know, her reputation back. Because it's easy for us to all say that when our reputation isn't the one that's being drugged. We're not the ones not being cast and stuff as many things as we should. We're the ones not facing the consequences of something she didn't even do. And so it's easy for us to be upset about it and be like, we want Disney to go down. I get it. I really do. And that she should have stuck it out. But it's easy for us to say that when we're not the ones that were being drugged. I completely understand why she would just want it to be over.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking 4 years since she got fired. And it's been, I mean, this is basically, this whole Disney thing has been her life for the last 4 years. I mean, she spent more time dealing with this shit than she did on the show.
Right. And so I get it. Like if they offered her a good deal, if they gave her, she said she wanted to come back and stuff. We don't know what was offered. I'm sure she signed an, you know, NDA or something. So I doubt we'll ever find out. But, you know, whatever they offered her was good enough that it was close enough to what she wanted that she agreed to it. And hopefully that means she gets to go back to work more. She gets to go back to Star Wars, gets back to something else, and her reputation is restored. It was very unfair what happened. Even at the time when it happened, there were some outlets that were like, yeah, this is kind of too far.
Yeah. And that was like, even Bill Maher, I remember they had, I forget the woman's name. She was on there and she called Gina Carano a jack-booted thug, Nazi thug. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, you might not like what she has to say, but you can't come on my show and call this woman a Nazi.
Yeah, and that's what pisses me off. That makes me so mad because at the end of the day, you ask what did she do? Well, she's a transphobe. I'm like, why? Well, because she wouldn't put pronouns in her bio. Who says she had to? Why does she have to put them in her bio? She doesn't feel comfortable doing that. Just because you feel comfortable putting pronouns in your bio doesn't mean that you get to dictate everybody else gets to do that. Plus, she was very, very nice about it. Said she doesn't condone bullying, but she doesn't think that she feels comfortable doing that. And then, as a result, got bullied incessantly for months because meanwhile, a lot of the bitches over at Lucasfilm didn't have pronouns in their bios. Not at all.
That is true, and that could have actually bit them in the ass. Clearly, there was somebody or somebodies at Lucasfilm that had a personal vendetta against her. And
the other thing about the being a Nazi thing, what she posted was true. I'm sorry. Historically speaking, and in current time, modern year, it still applies. It is true. And I love how, she was a Nazi because she posted saying that, how, that political pickling basically is turning neighbor against neighbor. And how did the Nazis round up their neighbors? Because they turned them against them first. That is all historically accurate. That is true. And you know what is happening again? Some of these people are so politically pickled, they aren't speaking to their family anymore because the people that they side with told them not to, because of then telling them they're terrible people. Now, also, I thought being, the N-word's cool now because of Palestine and all that crap. So
it's trendy now, right?
So you really want to go there? But it's just like, it was never fair. When you ask people to give you reasons why, it's usually those two reasons, but neither one are fair or legitimate. Or if you talk about the vaccines, she voted for Trump, so a lot of people did. Well, she was anti-vax. Well, I don't know how she was. I know she wasn't like keen on it, and understandably, but was she wrong in retrospect? No.
No. And I think that's it. I think that probably played into it too, that there definitely has been, when all this went down, it was a very different time. It was a period of civil war.
It was a period when these people these far extremists were allowed to dictate everything.
Yes.
And everything was about their viewpoint and their mental illness or whatever.
Yeah, and I guarantee you there were one or two people at Lucasfilm that caused like all the problems for her. But yeah, she released a statement. This is, since I did the last video, because I did it as soon as it broke. But she said, I've come to an agreement with Disney Lucasfilm, which I believe is the best outcome for all parties involved. I hope this brings some healing to the Force. I want to extend my deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to Elon Musk, a man I've never met, who did this good Samaritan deed for me in funding my lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Musk and X, for backing my case and asking for nothing in return. To my lawyers at Shar Jaffe, who walked me through this unknown territory, thank you for your wisdom and guidance. I'm humbled and grateful to God for his love and grace in this outcome. I'd like to thank you all for your unrelenting support throughout my life and career. You've been the heartbeat that has kept my story alive. I hope to make you proud. I'm excited to flip the page and move into the next chapter. My desires remain in the arts, which is where I hope you will join me. Yes, I'm smiling. Yeah, I think she just wants it behind her.
Yeah, they were making it so with Disney, if Disney's giving her a black eye, it was definitely going to be hurting her in different ways. And like I said, and like you said, if you haven't been through one of these kind of cases, it's exhausting. We had somebody who was an ex-partner who tried to trademark a name they knew they did not own. It was a whole long thing. They thought since they advertised on it once, they owned it. They said, and I'm like, yes, I was saying, I advertised on a site, so now I own the site, which is stupid. But it went on for like 2-3 years.
It was about, it was a slam dunk too. It was a very easy, once it finally got through the system, it was a very easy win. But you still have to go through all this bullshit. Right. And they refused to, we could have been settled and handled early on. They refused to do it. They kept, well, you have to promise not to say anything about me. And I was like, hell no, I'm not promising that. No, we're not going to do that. Because you lied and you're full of crap, hell no. But it took a while. It took quite a while because COVID and stuff was in there too. And that slowed the system down. Yeah, it definitely slowed everything down. It was exhausting and it was frustrating and it cost us
like $15,000, which is nothing compared to something like this.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it was just to save our name, just to save one of our trademarks from somebody that knowingly filed a bad
committed
faith
fraud, basically.
It was fraud. They committed fraud.
They said it's very hard to prove, but they hit like most of them, and it's like, you know, I get it. I understand. I mean, I'm coming at it from a different perspective. You're coming at it from a different perspective. I get it. It gets to the place where it's like, oh my God, I just want this done. Yeah. You know, the wheels of justice turn very slowly. It's very expensive. Disney was deliberately dragging their feet and trying to cost as much as they could, which I've talked about before in other videos, how they do that, try to stall you out. Wasn't going to work this time because it was Musk paying for it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think if Musk was not paying for this, they would have tried to grind her down.
So I mean, I get it, and I'm sure like she wanted, you know, acknowledgement that, you know, cleared her name, and she wanted to be given, you know, her jobs back. And I don't know how much of that's going to come out, but Disney said they'd be working with her. They look forward to working with her very soon. So I'm guessing that means something's coming through.
Yeah. So that's what's making a lot of people very upset. It's not like here, take your money and go away, and we never want to hear from you again. It's like they're like, oh no, everybody who worked with her thought she was great, and we look forward to, you know, maybe working with her again. And I believe, you know, a lot of it is the discovery, but I also think it's damage control because they've got the Mandalorian movie coming out. Pedro Pascal is not bringing it already.
Pedro Pascal, everybody's sick to death of Pedro Pascal.
Well, he would have been a witness in this.
Yes. And Pedro Pascal is one of the ones that keeps posting shit all the time, and he wasn't punished for it.
Right. So, I mean, I guess from Disney's perspective, even if you think you're in the right, and I still think it was just a handful of asshole activists at Lucasfilm. But even if you think you're in the right, like, you have to look at this like, yeah, hey, we're basically betting the farm on this Mandalorian movie as to what we're going to do with Star Wars going forward. And we can't have Pedro Pascal, who's already under the microscope, already in the hot seat, already costing us money on Fantastic Four. We can't have him getting dragged out in court. And on top of everything else, right before this movie comes out, because a whole bunch of shit could have come out.
Well, that's just it. They're clearly, and I agree with people on that. They're like, Disney did this. They're clearly trying to keep Discovery from happening. And I would agree with that, given all what they did leading up to this to try to get this case dismissed and everything else, and the bullshit they were just like flinging right and left, and then deliberately not turning over documents they were supposed to.
Yes.
And everything else. They were doing everything they could to avoid whatever they were hiding. They're definitely, I mean, in my opinion, they're definitely hiding something, because it doesn't make any sense that they're going this hard in the paint to try to stop it, and then suddenly, oh, we're going to settle now, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, that's definitely part of it. And I think it's just, I think too, it's just brand damage or damage control. I also think that, like, Disney's point of view, they might be like, God, we're so sick of hearing about this. Every time Star Wars comes up, every time The Mandalorian comes up, every time Pedro Pascal comes up, we got to hear about Gina Carano.
Well, you know what? That was their own damn fault.
It was their own fault. And I honestly believe it was a handful of rogue employees at Lucasfilm. I hope they're all fired. I would fire them immediately. If I'm like, yeah, are you the social media manager that put her on blast and said that, you know, she had abhorrent tweets? Because that is not how our company handles things. We handle it on the down low. We don't broadcast it. So somebody there broadcast that, and that caused them all kinds of problems. If they had not done that, if she had been pulled aside privately, or they were just like, hey, we're just not bringing the Cara Dune character back, oh well, you know, no explanation, that's fine. But because whoever the hell was in charge of that Star Wars account put her on blast like that and caused this shitstorm in the media, that's why they're looking at this lawsuit.
And it caused reputation damage, which was provable.
Yeah,
you know, by Gina Carano. It was very provable. And it's just a whole bunch of crap. So the people who can never explain to you other than Nazi and pronouns, they're not happy about this.
Yeah.
And they're having a meltdown. Personally, I'm hoping we get Rangers of the New Republic, or they put her in the Mandalorian movie, because the Mandalorian movie is going to bomb. I really don't believe it's going to do well. And I wasn't going to go see it at all because I'm so sick of Pedro Pascal and I'm so sick of Disney Star Wars. However, if Gina Carano would be in the movie, I would go, but only because I'm going to see her and support her, and that's it. Because the rest of them can just get bent.
Yeah. I'm not excited about the Mandalorian movie at all. But
so let's hear the whining. Let's hear the whining.
Okay, Culture Crave. Gina Carano, this is on Blue Sky, by the way. Gina Carano and Disney have settled their legal dispute. Disney is now looking forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future. So there's a full statement. Turn-based Carl says, bending the knee to bigots is a defining feature of the Trump era. Disgusting. Matt McMuscles, who I'm disappointed, dude. I watch his videos.
I don't know who he is. I don't care.
Okay, well, fucking no.
Again, why? And I bet you they can't. Their answers will be, oh, Nazi, or it's gonna be Nazi or transphobe, and neither of which of those things were true.
Here we go. Now they're going to boycott, and I guarantee you a lot of these people didn't. They
weren't going to go anyway.
They don't buy much from Disney anyway, or they, yeah. Glorified extra. Nah, fuck Gina Carano. I won't watch anything with her in it. Ziggy says I'm going to cut Disney out of my life forever over this. Bending the knee like this to, bending the knee like this is bitch baby shit, and I won't tolerate it.
Again, how is it bending the knee? And you're not looking at it this way.
On Blue Sky.
again, how is it bending the knee? First of all, it's not. And secondly, make the mistake. Disney's doing this to cover their own ass because something was going to come out that was going to get them in big trouble. I guarantee it.
I like this response. This is God hates beavers.
Okay.
Not siding with Carano or anything, but this is where you draw the line. Not filming Mulan in the concentration camp or defacing a child's grave because his dad put Spider-Man on it, or the numerous deaths in their parks or cruises covered up with hush money. But the bigoted actress is your line in the sand.
Right. Yeah. I would put the bigoted in quotes.
Oh, God. How about no? I thought she was going to make it big with the Daily Wire and compete directly with Disney. I don't think anybody thought that.
No.
No matter what, she's the loser. All this time she spent on lawsuits and doing shitty Daily Wire movies. She could have just been making Star Wars money.
I think she probably just made Star Wars money. Honey, I'm pretty sure.
I think she made more money than Mark Hamill did.
I'm sure she's gotten paid well. So
I'm sure she
jokes
did.
on you.
So do lawyers. I'm sure they got paid very well. This person here, The Mandalorian season 3 opening crawl. Cara Dune crashed her X-wing and died. LOL. Better writing than any of the scenes with her in it. Oh my God!
You know what's so funny though? These are the people that were falling all over it. But and again, I want to remind everybody with the pronoun thing. A bunch of these weirdos decided that Cara Dune, the character, was their representation. Gina Carano didn't say that. Star Wars people didn't say that. They decided that because it was a muscular woman, it was their representation. And then when they insisted that she have to fall in line with what they wanted, and she told them politely, no, but I still respect where you're coming from, and I still stand, for against bullying, towards you, but I don't feel comfortable with that. The screeching, because you have to be accepting of their opinions, of what they want, of their viewpoints or whatever they identify as or whatever. You have to accept it and you have to embrace it and you have to be the representation because they decided. If you don't, they don't have to be accepting of you. They can call you any name they want to. They dogpiled her for months and called her all kinds of slurs and things. Now, this kind of shit that they're talking about on here, because she said, I don't want to put pronouns in my bio, but I politely declined, but I stand with you against bullying. And then they turn around and try to bully her. These are the same weirdos that, are like, now they're, about, Nazis, yeah, people turn against each other because it's so, it's okay. They're not so bad now now that we don't like them. We don't like, people from, Israel. And it's like, and I'm just like, fuck you all kindly. Actually, not kindly.
Roughly, without lube.
With a spiky object and no lube.
And thick fingers, but not fun thick fingers, painful thick fingers. With untrimmed nails.
And unwashed.
Unwashed, like the dirt under the nails, and they're kind of yellow. Those big thick fingers. Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah, because it's like you guys are just, your reaction is so ridiculous.
Here's one. She is a MAGA Nazi pig.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you sure showed her.
Disney finds new ways to disappoint every day. At least they're going back to their roots and being a very anti-Semitic company.
Again, prove that Gina Carano is anti-Semitic. Prove it. You can't, because she didn't say anything that was anti-Semitic. What she said was actually, historically accurate. It's similar to what is in the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah.
And it's also the same stuff that Geo put in their documentary like a couple years ago, last year, whatever. It's because it's factual. It's historically accurate. It's not anti-Semitic in any way.
They're proving it, because all you have to do now is whisper that somebody's like a Nazi or an alt-right whatever, and they get blacklisted.
Right. So I'm just like saying, you guys, one, educate yourself, because that's not what she said.
Educate
and
yourself.
a lot of you people are acting anti-Semitic on a daily basis on here, but it's okay when you do it.
I'm sorry, not sorry, but fuck Disney, fuck Gina Carano, and yikes. Please don't let her back into Star Wars. It goes on.
Oh, please let her back into Star Wars. I hope she's in everything just to piss you off.
Oh no, transgender Marxist. No, thank you.
Again, she's not against trans people. They actually sent people to talk to her and have a lovely chat with her.
45.
45
No,
people. Not that one. The first time.
Oh, that's not a lovely chat. That's an Inquisition.
That was an Inquisition. No, the first time they sent people to speak with her about it, and they were like, from the, representation committees and stuff. And they even said that she was very nice and lovely, and they were sorry she got caught up in it. And she wasn't against anyone. She just said, all she did, again, reminder, all she did was say, no, I don't feel comfortable putting pronouns in my bio, but I respect that if you want to, I will stand with you because I'm against bullying. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. I'm sorry, you little bitches, but that doesn't mean you're against trans people in any way. It doesn't mean you're transphobic in any way, shape, or form at all. And again, I want to remind you, a bunch of people at Lucasfilm who you're cheering for and Disney did not have pronouns in their bio either. But they weren't demanded to do it by a bunch of you people who decided that she was representation without even her consent. Again, it's not always about you. No one was saying you can't be trans. You don't get to tell everybody else they have to put pronouns in their bio because it makes you feel better. I'm sorry, but it pisses me off, and they keep saying it. And the two things they keep accusing her of are easily provable that she didn't do. And they just keep repeating them over and over again. When you ask to prove it, they can't.
So it's just, we were ahead of the curve. Now it's cool to hate Disney because they all hate Disney because of Gina Carano, because they thought, I remember reading the articles back when this happened, like the Mary Sue and all these rags.
They were all over it.
They're like, good, the transphobe's gone. And there's no way in hell she's going to win this lawsuit. She's just posturing and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, okay.
But even before that,
2025.
Even before any of that happened, they were like, Cara Dune's bestest character ever, which I agree. I said from day one, because they try to say, well, anybody who says otherwise, they're all saying that she's not. And I'm like, no, she's a good character. She's a strong female character that actually is a strong female character. And she's on equal footing. And she's not like, I'm better than you because I'm the strong female character. And we said how it was a good character. And everybody loved Cara Dune. Best character ever. Yay, representation. Except she wasn't representation. And when she said, I don't feel comfortable, I'd just rather not do that. Instead, you're supposed to be understanding of, everybody's supposed to understand you and how you feel and what makes you comfortable. But everybody else in the world has to be uncomfortable to appease you. It's like, who's the dick here? Or vagina? Not going to judge what you think you have, or you do or don't have.
I can't get past just these low IQ posts. Fuck that Nazi. We don't want transphobe McDumbass back in your shows, Disney. That's Scrooge's cousin.
I just can't even. I'm like, again, you're the one making accusations. The burden of proof's on you. Where? Prove that they are transphobe. Where?
So that's
no pronouns in the bio doesn't prove that.
That is a small sampling over on Blue Sky. I'm sure things are going to get real.
So the rereads are like really reading right now. So everything is the balance is restored. So I know it's probably an annoying sound, but it's also musical to your ears because they're like triggered and pissed.
They said it would never happen. They said it would never happen. They said it was impossible. She's never coming back. Deal with it. Cry me a river. Boo hoo.
There had to be something really bad. I mean, it should have been a lot harder than this. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
Disney it should have been. So there's something really damning they did not want to come out.
Well, I think it's one of those. They brought a butter knife to a gunfight because Disney, they've got deep pockets, but this is Elon Musk.
Well, not just that. I mean, yes, But there was so much evidence, and then you have your idiots like Rachel Zegler, and you had like Mark Hamill, Mark Ruffalo, and Pedro Pascal out there shooting their mouths off, saying really shitty things too, and they were never. I mean, Rachel Zegler wishing no peace to half the audience.
Yeah,
and they weren't fired. She got a talking to, but she wasn't fired.
I think Disney's own lack of enforcement on the other side is what did them in, because it's very easy. They've probably been compiling all the dumb shit that the Rachel Zeglers and the Pedro Pascals have been saying, and the Mark Ruffalos for the last 3 or 4 years now. And they're like, oh yeah, here's a freaking 600-page document with every dumb ass thing that Disney people have said that's worse than anything Gina Carano said. You still want to go there?
Yeah, and then they also probably have all the pages and pages and pages of insults thrown at her that he had to deal with for months because she wouldn't put pronouns in her bio, and she politely declined. And then they turned around and were like insulting her for months, and Lucasfilm did nothing. But that Christina Ariel says some shitty things, and they're like, we stand against racism. Moses Ingram, like a couple people might have been mean to her. We stand against this. We stand for women. And then they let Gina Carano just get harassed for months.
Yeah. I hope they do the Rangers of the New Republic show.
I hope so.
And I hope it airs, and I hope it winds up kicking the shit out of the Acolytes numbers. Like, it just is like the most viewed thing ever on Disney Star Wars. That just to prove a point, that would be hilarious. Or at least get double the viewership of the Acolyte. That would be hilarious. Here's Reddit.
Oh no.
I wouldn't hold my breath expecting her to return in any significant capacity. I doubt they'll bring her back ever. But if they do, they should immediately kill her off in the dumbest way they can think of. No, they already said we're looking for ways to bring her back. Trips over, bangs her head and dies. With this, somebody put this. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future. This isn't like maybe someday, in the near future. Now, are they still? You said they're still filming the Mandalorian movie.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they haven't been doing it. They're working on it now. I'm pretty sure.
If you wanted to lure people back to Star Wars, guys, you need to go to the theater to see the Mandalorian movie because, oh my God, mid-credit scene with Cara Dune.
Or just put her in the movie.
Or it's probably too late to put her in. Like,
I don't know. Well, they do reshoots all the time. Okay. Captain America, Brave New World. They had to redo the whole bad guy and a bunch of stuff in it, before. And they redid all that. So why couldn't they redo some of this and put her in it?
This is incorrect. Personal Comb says, it's polite lip service for the news channels. Disney isn't so stupid that they'll rehire her so that she can start trouble again. I don't know. Look at Scarlett Johansson. They got in a lawsuit, and now she's like working as a producer or something.
And what trouble is she supposed to be starting again? What trouble, Personal Comb? Please explain.
Tweeting personal opinions.
You mean, putting a bunch of political hot takes out there? But let me get this straight. As long as it's the left-leaning political hot takes, it's okay, right? It's okay when Pedro Pascal shoots his damn mouth off, or Rachel Zegler, right? It's okay then, because it's what you want to hear. But if they stand for another side, or they say, I think, the vaccines, we should hold off a bit. How dare you? It's like, you don't get to have it. It's either you have to be treated equally on both sides or not at all.
They're going to pretend to be interested, string her along, but no actual director or anyone wants to work with her. I don't know about that.
I don't believe that.
She actually got along pretty well with her. They even said in the statement, they said, her co-stars and the directors.
Many of them spoke out in her behalf. Even
people that didn't agree with her politics. Giancarlo Esposito said she was very good to work with. She was very polite, very professional.
Said, we were at a thing where he was doing he was talking about it. Yeah, I think so. Was we there? Or was somebody we knew was there? I forget. There was something, but he said that he loved working with her. I asked her who his favorite person to work with was, and he said her.
Yeah, I can't honestly, everything's a blur now.
Yeah, I don't remember. I wonder if people might have been there. I don't remember.
Was it Celebration? I don't know. It might have been Celebration.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Everybody, I haven't heard a single negative story about her. And now I did have a chance to talk to her for a few minutes at the one convention.
I did.
Yeah, I know. I felt really bad. I didn't know I was going to meet her. I just honestly wanted to swing by. I wanted to go see Drunk 3PO. And he's like, oh, you want to meet Gina, she's right over here. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got sure, I guess. No, she was very polite. I got the impression, I mean, without going into details, I got the impression she just wanted this over with.
And I understand that, because I've been there.
Totally get it. But this person here, how long until this thread gets locked and removed like the last one? Damn. Maybe she'll join ICE with Dean Cain instead. Oh boy. Yeah, here. Too bad it didn't go to trial. I would love the discovery part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, discovery is what people are upset about. That they didn't get a discovery, because Disney obviously is like trying to hide something. Yeah. And I get it. I really do. I would love to have seen that too. But
everybody would.
It's easy to sit there and say, you should have held out, you should have, done this, you should have done that, because you want the dirt. But you're not the person that's in the seat taking all the shit either. And when you're the person in the seat, it's not as easy as that. And if you just want to move on with your life because it's been how many years of being upset and all this other crap, it's understandable that you'd just be like, you know what, let's just settle this thing. I want to move on. You want to move on. I want to go back to my career. I might have a shot now. It's over. If not, even if I don't, at least it's over. I understand why she would want to do that. I really do, because I've been there. And like I said, it's just easy for us to be judgy about it, but we're not the ones that have to deal with it on a daily basis. And it's not as easy as you think it is.
Yeah. They're still going nuts on Blue Sky. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh my God. It's just crazy. This is going to be an ongoing thing, but I don't think it's going to have any bearing whatsoever on, I think if anything, it's going to be good for the franchise. Just like the Harry Potter thing, like you can dig up all kinds of shit on J.K. Rowling or whatever, but the machine's going to move forward. This might actually, I'm going to be honest, this might actually be an olive branch for some people, and they might be like, yeah, I'll give Star Wars another chance if she's in it. I don't know. I'm not, not speaking for myself because I'm over it, Star Wars completely, but some people might be like, yeah, well, if they're willing to do that and bring her back, okay, I'll come back.
I'm just saying is these people that keep commenting that she's terrible, why? And it's usually like one of those two things. And if it's those two things, you prove it, because you're not. I can completely disprove what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck Gina Carano, fuck J.K. Rowling. If you're a TERF reading this, I hope you're walking into traffic while you do. Wonderful
fuck
place.
Sarah Walsh.
I can't imagine why normal people don't go to Blue Sky. I just can't imagine. There we go.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.